friends.
Good morning, 5 minutes past the hour. It's time to catch up with MercyOne, our monthly program, and a real pleasure to have in studio Julie Dunn of the foundation. Of course, she's going to be helping us with the Plus 50 Living Fair. It's back. 3.5 years, Julie. Can you believe it's been that long?
Is that right? Well, I think this is our 30th, if I calculated right. Not annual, because we did have to take those years off. But we're really excited to be getting back to it again.
And we've always had it in the spring. This time we're bringing it back. It's in the fall, so it'll be kind of a little bit of a different vibe to it. But it's going to be at the Vista Grande, Tuesday, October 11th, 9 a.m. to 1:30 p.m. And again, free admission, and great to have MercyOne. You've always been our co-sponsor.
And we've been happy to do it. The Vista does such a great job, too, every year of hosting us, making sure that that room is ready and open for everyone to come and visit us. And it always has been a great time. I don't know how many years, gosh, I've been with MercyOne, 18 years now. So
okay.
In all those 18 years, I've been involved in the Plus 50 Living Fair, and just, it's been such a great fair for our community to be able to come in, do the screenings, meet with our folks that we bring from the medical center, and also all the different fairs, all the different booths that you have there, not only our businesses but our nonprofits. It really is a great day to learn so much about what we have available in our community. And it lives up to the name. It's a living fair. It's really about living and making sure that your quality of life goes well beyond your years.
All right, very well said. Well, you, of course, offer screenings. Let's talk about those. What are some of the various screenings, and some do come with a cost?
We do, and we try to keep our costs very nominal so that it's something that is affordable for everyone. The lipid panel, of course, is the triglycerides, the cholesterol, the LDL, and the HDL. And this gives you a good basic sense of what your blood work looks like. I love these screenings because they're an ability for you to have a glimpse of what your basic health is. We do a glucose test, we do an A1C, and that is that measure of basically your average blood glucose over time. So it gives you a good glimpse of what that average number looks like. We do a vitamin B12, vitamin D, and a lot of people who struggle with vitamin D, not necessarily in the summer because we're out in the sunshine, but it is something that you really want to keep an eye on. And if your levels are low, that might be why you're not feeling so well sometimes. We do a CBC, which is a complete blood count, and that's your white blood cells, your red blood cells. We do a comprehensive metabolic panel. This is a series of about 14 tests that in your blood work that really can indicate your metabolic health. So it can give you a good glimpse of really how your liver is functioning and things like that, so that you know your basic health then. We do PSA, or we can offer PSA, and we also offer TSH, which is a thyroid stimulating hormone test that can give you a basic idea of how your thyroid is performing.
Basically, how do these screenings work, Julie?
So when individuals come in, and a lot of times we will indicate or we will ask you to fast for 10 to 12 hours, and that's basically so that they get the best look of the blood then as you come in. But you come in, you register. We'll have a couple volunteers who are sitting there able to take the money. I mean, each one is between $10 and $30, basically, nothing more than $30. So you'll come in, you'll register, and then you'll step over just to a table where there's a lab associate then, and then they can help you with that screening. The results will come in within a week after you have that screening, and you'll be able to have then some education then as well as far as what your ranges look like.
Okay, as we pointed out, this is not you still go to your physician.
Right.
This is just kind of give you an overview.
It's still very important that you have a primary care physician, someone who can help you interpret those results, and really who knows your health better than anybody. So this is just a glimpse. A lot of people do like to track it themselves just to see how their cholesterol's doing and things like that. So we invite anybody to come who would like to do that. And
you can get your blood pressure for free, and I know blood pressure has always been a big issue for me, so that's something you really need to know.
Yes, absolutely. And it's one of those things that you really want to keep an eye on too. You don't want that to be getting too high. So we encourage anybody to come over, and our lab probably will only be there until about 10:30 or so. It seems like when we ask people to fast, it really does kind of drop off by 10:30. Blood pressure, we hope to have the whole time that we're there.
Again, visit with Julie Dunn of MercyOne. Now, you are going to again have some outstanding booths. And let's go over the ones that are going to be there for MercyOne. Let's begin with wound care.
Sure. Our wound care service is located over at our South Campus, and they've been there for, I believe, about 11 years or so. They recently won a Center of Excellence recognition from Restorix Health, which is a nationally recognized wound care center. So they provide very good patient care, patient experience, very good service as far as what they are able to provide. And they do a wide variety of wound care, including diabetic wounds, crush injuries, first and second degree burns, gangrene, general wound problems, non-healing incisions, pressure ulcers, and things like that. So anytime there's a wound that just will not heal, give them a call and see if they're able to help you out.
Or of course, you can always stop by as well and visit with them there at the fair.
Absolutely.
Home medical equipment, you always have them there as well.
Sure. They are so knowledgeable in all of that equipment that's available in the home. Everything from lift chairs to four-wheeled walkers or any kind of walkers that you might need, canes. They have compression stockings. They have bath aids, really anything that can help someone in the home. They are the experts, and they're going to be there at the Living Fair that day.
I know this is kind of new for one of your booths. You're going to talk about the physicians and providers that you have.
We are. We've actually got 2 tables that we're going to set up that's going to have information about our physicians and providers. And that's one of the things that we hear most common. If a physician leaves, who can I go to? Who's taking appointments? Who's taking new patients? We have 30 physicians and 27 nurse practitioners or physician assistants. So altogether, 57 providers in the area who are MercyOne providers. And this is one of the most important things you can do for yourself, is to make sure that you have that primary care provider. They know your history, your physical health. And we'll have a booth about all of our providers, our general providers and our specialty care providers.
And of course, a booth that's really important, home care and hospice, is going to be manned by MercyOne.
Definitely. Our service extends well beyond our community here. We go out to the 4 different counties providing home care and hospice. And that really is something that's becoming so much more important than it ever was before, is staying in your home as long as you can and being able to have that specialty care come in, take care of you. They'll have all that information. You can talk to them about what they provide.
And radiation oncology, that is something new. Well, not new, but you have the new facility.
Definitely. So a few years ago, we raised $2 million for that new linear accelerator, which we were very grateful to be able to extend the services in that center right there, so people don't have to leave the community to get cancer care. So we're excited. They're going to be there again this year, being able to provide information not only about radiation oncology, but also medical oncology as well.
And we're going to talk about the foundation and volunteer services a little bit more in the second half of the program, but you're going to have a table there as well.
We will, and we'll have volunteers there who can help answer some questions.
And you have so many great volunteers.
We do. We have the best volunteers, I think. So our volunteers give so much from their heart, and they work in so many different areas. So we're so excited that they're going to be there. Volunteerism isn't what it used to be, and it gets a little bit harder to recruit some volunteers. So they'll be able to provide some definite stories and experience about what they enjoy about volunteering at the medical center.
Again, the Plus 50 Living Fair will be October 11th, and of course October is Breast Cancer Awareness Month, and of course you'll have a booth for this.
We will, with education about why it's important to make sure that you have your mammogram, and also some of the different other tests that we have. We have cardiac calcium scoring, which is important, so we'll have a booth set up with all of that information on breast cancer or breast health, and also the health of different screenings that you can get with our radiology services.
And a lot of people may not realize this, but rehabilitation is another thing that MercyOne provides.
So physical therapy, occupational therapy, and speech therapy are all the different therapies that you can get and treatments that you can get with our rehabilitation services. They do any kind of chronic pain that you might be having. You can go ahead and get a referral, come in, see a physical therapist that can help you work through it. My daughter's a physical therapist. I know them, and and can definitely speak to the help that you can get from working through certain pains that you have as you get older. But they can also do lymphedema treatment services. We have 3 certified occupational therapists that provide that service, and pelvic floor strengthening therapy as well. So they're going to be able to answer some questions for you.
And before we break for the weather, giveaways and door prizes also a part of what you're going to be offering folks.
So we will, of course, all tables offer some type of a little giveaway that they can pick up as they go through. And what we normally do at MercyOne is, rather than having a door prize on each table, we collectively offer one large door prize, which this year will be our River City dollars there. So we'll be able to do that and give away a large prize.
All right, more with Julie Dunn. Well, let's take a break for the weather now, brought to you by BillionAuto.com.
Clouds and showers still on track for much of today. It will be cooler as well, with highs into the low 60s. A couple of showers this evening, then cloudy overnight with temperatures in the low 50s. And for the weekend, Saturday partly cloudy, highs in the mid-70s. Sunday, more of the same, partly cloudy, mid-70s. With your Storm Track 8 forecast, I'm meteorologist Andrew Stutzky.
Right now, fair skies. Some clouds have moved in. 54 degrees. Our update brought to you by BillionAuto.com.
So, you need a new vehicle. What's the best vehicle for you? Where do you get financing? What's your trade worth? Answer all these questions and more at BillionAuto.com. You can compare 16 new car brands and thousands of used vehicles, all in the palm of your hand at BillionAuto.com. Plus, estimate the trade value of your vehicle in 2 easy steps. It's car buying made easy. Apply for credit pre-approval at BillionAuto.com. All applications accepted, not all approved.
Again, our monthly program with MercyOne, and we have in studio with us today Julie Dunn. She is, of course, with the foundation. So let's talk about the foundation a little bit. Now, during last fiscal year, MercyOne Clinton Foundation gave nearly $1 million back to the medical center. What kind of things did the foundation help to purchase? That's amazing, $1 million.
It really is. And we have an 11-member board of directors that really help make some of these decisions. But it's really exciting to be able to give money back to the medical center and the medical group. The list is so long as far as what we've been able to help with. But in essence, we gave the final payment of our linear accelerator. So all $2 million is paid off to Trinity Health. And we were able to, of course, offer that service as we talked about earlier. We also sent $250,000 for a CT scanner. That new CT scanner helps us to be able to keep continuous service. Our old one was starting to have some preventative maintenance issues and also just be down sometimes. And when that machine is down, we have to send people out of the area for a CT scan. So that new machine now is able to give us that continual service that we can offer to our community whenever there's a need. And then we did smaller things like infant scales and wheelchairs and wheelchair scales. We were able to buy 2 infant warmers. They're called Panda warmers, and they offer just so many bells and whistles to be able to keep those little ones safe in their first few days of life. We were able to buy infusion chairs, cardiac rehab equipment, so a new treadmill, a new stepper, some recumbent bikes, dialysis furniture. So they moved to the Medical Center Health Plaza here recently, and we were able to buy furniture. So the foundation was able to do all of these things through the generous donations of our community, from our endowment, and just different grants that we were able to secure. We also bought some birthing lights for our OB floor. So these are very bright lights which help with the birthing experience, and also did some painting and new blinds and things like that for some of our rooms. We have a cancer care fund that we are able to use for some of the needs of our patients and some of the needs of the program. So this was something that was started not too long ago, and really does help with that program to be able to get some of the things that fall through the cracks sometimes. Our home care and hospice support, of course, is something that we continue to do. Healthy variety meals, we're able to provide those to people who sometimes can't afford them. And also we gave 40 scholarships to students then that are able to go to school and learn a healthcare field. So being able to recruit people is so important to the medical center, because we need those trained people to be able to step in and fill those positions that are hard to fill.
So much. But what do you have coming up for the foundation this year?
So the needs are always great. You know, the medical equipment, the one thing that we can count on is that it's always going to need upgrading. So we're looking this year at starting to build funds for the cardiac cath labs. So we have 2 very nice cath labs that are going to need new equipment here within the next couple of years. Our facilities, of course, are always in need of updating. So we have buildings that are older. We're always looking at making sure that we put the upgrades in them. And one of the things this year is really definitely looking at trying to move out of the South Campus because it's very costly. And one of the things that we're going to need to do is make our child care building self-sufficient. So a lot of the utilities run off of our South Campus building. So we're going to be looking at trying to make sure that that child care center is self-sufficient. We're also looking, of course, again, still at colleague education, building training funds, and these things are paramount. We need to continue to offer those classes, those certifications, and things like that our colleagues need. So those are just some of the areas that we're focusing on this year.
A lot going on. If someone wanted to help the medical center raise funds, what can they do?
Well, gifts of any amount help the MercyOne Clinton Foundation to be able to provide this funding to the medical center. But so many of our donors give in memory or honor of someone. If someone passes away, a lot of times those memorials can be very helpful to us and be able to provide those services. You can also designate your gift to a service or a particular fund. Say you were helped particularly with the cardiac care funds. This is something then that you can donate or designate a gift back to the medical center for cardiac care. If you had a good experience and you had a particular nurse that you want to remember, it's nice to be able to honor them with a gift to the foundation. So there's so many different ways that you can give. And of course, the gifts to the foundation are always deductible to the extent that's allowed by the tax laws. If you have any specific questions, you can talk to your tax accountant, but you can always give me a call too, and we can discuss a gift then. And my number directly is 244-3519.
Now, the foundation also helps, as if you don't do enough, the foundation helps to oversee the volunteer program. What can you tell me about this program, Julie?
Like I said, our volunteers are just the best. We have about 150 active volunteers, and they serve in so many different positions. And this includes people who work the gift shop or work the sip and snack that are located right there in the medical center. They also do surgical waiting, where they're able to man that room and help the patients and the guests be able to answer some questions. And then also driving our courtesy car. You know, it's so important. The sisters, when they built the hospital, they built it on a hill. And so everyone who comes in, if they're struggling at all, boy, that cube car and that courtesy car is so nice to be able to come and pick up someone, give them a ride to the front door.
Yeah, they built it right there on top of that hill. I used to sled down that hill.
Is that right?
Yeah. So now, if somebody wants to be a volunteer for the hospital, how can they do that?
If someone wants to be a volunteer, they can start by calling our volunteer office. So Lisa Miley is our volunteer coordinator, and you can reach her at 563-244-3535. She can walk you through the process. There's an application to fill out. Of course, we have to do a background check and a TB test and some of those orientation type things. But volunteering gives you such a reward for what you're able to contribute. It gives you a purpose. And I think that's what you'd find our volunteers say, is that being able to contribute back to the hospital and the medical center really gives them that purpose. And it also connects people. There's a good friendship in that group of people that is really neat to see. They do things afterwards together. They go to dinner, and it's really nice to see them become friends too.
Julie, thank you so much for coming in. You offered a lot of information. Again, the Plus 50 Living Fair, Tuesday, October 11th at the Vista Grande, 9 a.m. to 1:30 p.m. There's going to be screenings. There's also going to be a lot of booth information. Julie, thank you so much. Looking forward to seeing you at the Vista Grande.
It's going to be exciting. Thank you, Gary.